Data is critical. It's important to the government. In today's digital age, data is the backbone of effective governance. When you look at the whole journey in the data and evidence-based policy making, our role starts with building the data infrastructure for the agencies, government agencies, and this could be federal, state, local, so both policy and practice can be established.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of GovCast. I'm staff writer Sylvia Oakland here with GovCIO Media and Research. You just heard from Ahu Yildirmaz, President and CEO of the Coleridge Foundation. Ahu loves data, and it could be the solution to increasing government efficiency. Through the Stopping Waste, Fraud, and Abuse by Eliminating Information Silos executive order, the Trump administration is looking for ways to increase government efficiency efforts. Elon Musk described the efficiency efforts made by the Department on Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, as revolutionary, adding that DOGE's work will change the way the government operates in the future. The team at DOGE plans to trim the federal budget's fat by modernizing agency systems, including taking a closer look at how to improve data sharing. The DOGE team shared their mission during an interview with Fox News' Bret Baier. Take a listen.
I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent. The critical programs that people depend upon will work. And it's going to be a fantastic future. We have to fix the computers. If the computers can't talk to each other, you can't get research done. If the computers can't stay online, people won't receive their Social Security. So what we have here are a bunch of failing computer systems that are preventing people from receiving their benefits, that are preventing people from preventing research from happening, that are extremely vulnerable to fraud, and we're fixing it.
So DOGE has highlighted the incredulous amounts of data hosted by the federal government, both quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative data points, as Ahu described them to me, are like statistics or metrics. And qualitative data points would be worker testimonies, surveys, and feedback. Both types of data are used to make informed decisions, and Ahu noted it could lead to even better policy solutions.
It provides context. Explaining why those trends occur, right? And how policies affect different populations. So you have to combine both quantitative data and qualitative data to ensure that the policies are evidence-based, adaptable, and responsive to public needs. So just to give you an example from workforce development, for example, right? Quant data gives you the unemployment rates, UI claims, job placement numbers, income growth statistics. But on the other hand, qualitative data gives you some workers' testimonials, right? Employer feedback, analysis of the job training experiences. It's really about combining hard numbers with human stories. To me, it is complementary. And it's a must to really understand what's happening in the marketplace or in the environment.
Qualitative and quantitative data points are meant to work together to improve efficiency and provide a holistic view of what needs to get done. So if agencies have all this data, why isn't there more efficiency currently? 3 barriers stand between federal agencies and their ability to use these data points fully, according to Ahu. Data silos, data quality, and data sharing. Federal agencies operate independently and have fragmented data systems. The Open Government Data Act requires agency data to be accessible, and that agencies plan to develop statistical evidence to support policymaking. Ahu described the lack of communication simply, like living in a house with your family, but you all rarely talk to each other. Agencies use incompatible data forms. They have incompatible systems, and overall, it makes data sharing and integration nearly impossible.
We have different agencies. We have workforce agency and education agency. A state education agency may have workforce data, and that could help the labor departments design better policies. The lack of linkages between those two agencies it's a big hinder to really understand education to workforce outcomes within that state.
Data quality can also impact efficiency. Ahu pointed out the federal adage, garbage in, garbage out, can't be treated as just a saying. Incomplete, incompatible, inconsistent, and outdated data points can warrant the entire data set invalid, wasting valuable resources like time and money. Ahu also pointed out that privacy, security, and compliance can all pose as barriers. The Coleridge Initiative faces these barriers as they work to help agencies understand their data and, in turn, create a more data-literate workforce.
In order to really see the education to workforce outcomes, you need to data share, education and workforce data needs to be shared, not only within the state, but cross-border agency data should be shared as well. So data sharing and access delays collaboration and prevents real-time decision making. So, for example, if you remember during the disaster responses, agencies like FEMA and state governments had to get into the rapid data exchange. One federal agency, FEMA, and the state governments, because you have to immediately act. But if there are access restrictions, then it's going to create bottlenecks. There are many barriers, by the way. The next one is the ethical considerations and bias. Algorithms and data sets can reflect biases present in society. So you have to monitor that.
Legal, bureaucratic, and technical barriers all can slow down these data sharing efforts. And as the Coleridge Initiative works to overcome these barriers, Ahu said having governance in place is still critical to ensure the privacy, security, especially cybersecurity, and preservation of technologies.
Through our applied data analytics training programs, improving data literacy and training across agencies, another way to tackle the problems. Secure, transparent agency data sharing agreements are basically the key. But again, just to summarize, remember there are 4 big data barriers when it comes to data analysis: staff time, staff skills, technology and tools, and the financial resources. Once we solve these top barriers, we can work with the data much more effectively, efficiently, and government would be much more modernized and efficient as well.
For Ahu, empowering the workforce, the agency, and the government as a whole will create better policy, period. With improved and informed data policies, Ahu said data silos become easier to break. Because data is everywhere, it needs to be leveraged efficiently and effectively and fluidly, allowing for a balance of innovation and regulation.
It's not something that we're going to decide today and we're going to keep it for the rest of, it has to be a more adaptable approach. So I can give you one example from our data enclave, what we do. Because our goal is, while providing latest data tools, we are very much firm when it comes to data privacy, but we want to balance the innovation, technological innovations and regulations, right? The way we do this, as I mentioned before, we facilitate secure data sharing, but really understand, collaborate with the agencies, with the local, state, and federal agencies to understand the need.
Through interoperable systems and informed policies, Ahu knows data security and accelerated data sharing are achievable. Strategic partnerships with nonprofits like the Coleridge Initiative allow agencies to increase their data literacy and improve governance and policies, which will again overall make for an effective and efficient government system.
We're a big part of this data ecosystem, providing support to government agencies because we believe that data is fragmented and we got to break the silos. Therefore, the data access linkages and the agency capacity are key to for effective policy making.
Thank you for listening to GovCast. Learn more about how government agencies are boosting efficiency at our newest event, the Federal IT Efficiency Summit. Check out all of the details and register today at govciomedia.com/events.